Good afternoon and welcome to ICU TV Lunchtime News. We apologize for bringing to you the news late. We had some technical challenges. Let's take a look at the top stories making headlines. ICU trains artisanal miners in practical gold processing. 3 children die in suspected food poisoning in Lusaka. Lundazi floods trigger diarrhea outbreak. In international news, US discussing options to acquire Greenland, including use of military. In sports news, Hachipuka and Sakuwaha joins Trident. Presenting the news, I am Yamba Margaret, and now the news in details. The Information and Communications University has successfully conducted a hands-on mining training session for students enrolled in its artisanal mining program. The exercise held at the university site along the Muchinga escarpment focused on gold processing techniques, mining safety, and environmental protection. Miriam Deborah Gamani has more in this report.
I'm at the Information and Communications University Artisanal training site, where the first cohort are gaining hands-on experience in processing iron, copper, and gold. Artisanal mining has become a critical issue in Zambia, and the Information and Communications University has taken a stance in curbing that problem. After a week of theory-based classes, students transitioned to hands-on training at the university's artisanal mining site, located along the Muchinga escarpment. Under the guidance of site manager Professor Oliver Silumbe, the students were introduced to real-life mining and mineral processing activities focused on core artisanal mining operations, including mineral extraction, ore separation using gravity techniques, and environmental safety protocols. Students were also trained in proper site access procedures, safety checks, and the use of personal proactive equipment (PPE). Professor Silumbe emphasized that empowering artisanal miners with knowledge is key to ensuring that they carry out their operations safely, sustainably, and in a way that supports the national economy.
So this time around, the realization that we empower the artisanal community is simply because of one reason. Artisans move an economy. So this is the reason why every sector involved or interested, we want artisanal miners to be empowered with knowledge that they will be able to carry out their processes without harming the environment. At the same time, increasing their profit margins. So basically, it is a win-win scenario, both for the community and for the individual involved. This is the reason why the Information and Communications University has called upon all intellectual communities to work together with the government to ensure that we wrest this whole issue of abuse of all these habitats and the environment in principle.
The training.
3 children from the same family have died in a suspected case of food poisoning in Lusaka's Kabanana compound. Police say the incident followed the consumption of a home-prepared meal, after which all 6 family members fell seriously ill, prompting an urgent medical response. Investigations have since been launched to establish the exact cause of the deaths.
The Zambia Police Service in Lusaka has launched investigations into a suspected food poisoning incident that has claimed the lives of 3 children from the same family in Kabanana compound. Police received a report on January 5, 2026, around 15 hours, indicating that the family had allegedly consumed contaminated food prepared at home, which led to their fatalities. Preliminary investigations indicate that on January 3, 2026, around 20 hours, 6 family members allegedly consumed a meal consisting of nshima, pumpkin leaves locally known as chihuahua, soya pieces, and sour milk. Around midnight, all 6 individuals began experiencing symptoms including stomach pains, diarrhea, and vomiting. On January 4, 2026, the victims were rushed to Chipata Level 1 Hospital, where one child, Gertrude Sibongire Mutombeni, aged 1 year, died. The remaining 5 were later referred to Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital, where another child, Lloyd Mutombeni, aged 6 years, died around 18 hours on the same day. On January 5, 2026, around 04 hours, a third child, Bongani Mutombeni, aged 8 years, also passed away. The parents received treatment and have since been discharged in stable condition. The bodies of the deceased children are currently at Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital and the University Teaching Hospital, pending post-mortem examinations to establish the cause of death. An inquiry file has been opened and investigations are ongoing.
The flooding situation in Lundazi district has led to an increase in diarrhea cases. The district has recorded over 100 cases of non-bloody diarrhea in the past 7 days. Lundazi District Health Services Director Simon Mwale stated that following the water contamination owing to flooded wells and pit latrines, diarrhea cases have been on the rise. Dr. Mwale disclosed that a total of 111 diarrhea cases have been recorded, including 17 affecting children aged between 0 and 4 years. This came to light during a stakeholder meeting on the flood disaster situation. Meanwhile, all the health facilities in the district have received chlorine for distribution to households in their catchment areas. The Hachipuka Municipal Council has secured land for the construction of a thermal plant by Atlas Energy Company Limited. Hachipuka Mayor Vincent Lilanda says the plant will generate 200 megawatts of power, which will be supplied to the national grid. Mr. Lilanda says the plant will therefore help to alleviate electricity challenges in the country. He said this project is also expected to create employment opportunities for local people and have a positive economic impact on the district. Atlas Energy Company Limited has since begun mobilizing equipment on the site.
Atlas Energy Company Limited, they applied to the council. They're looking for a space, land, to put a thermal plant. And I'm happy to mention that as a council, I think we have found a piece of land for them to construct the plant. Looking at the space where we have given them land is proximity to Zambia Sugar. They are already done with Zambia Sugar. And again, looking at the proximity from Hachipuka to, I think, Mamba, they'll be getting call from Mamba. I think you are looking at the economic benefit to our town. We need to grow the economy, the things we've been talking about. Also, the issue to do with the energy. I think the president has been reminding him, as the councils also, to see how best can incorporate investors, especially those who are investing in the areas of energy. So the coming of the company, I think it will come with its own advantages. Definitely the issue of power, we're talking about 200 megawatts. To be to the main grid. So the issue of power, what we are going through. And I think each and every one of us, we have to be involved. We have to dance to the tune of what is happening. We have to act positively. So as a council, we see it as a need also for our people. We are looking at also issues with the job creation. Definitely, a lot of our people who have jobs there, our young ones. Yeah, we have Zambia Sugar, but not everyone is accommodated there. So those that are not accommodated will be there.
We now take a short break, and coming up next is international and sports news. Please stay tuned.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. To continue with the news in international news, US President Donald Trump has been discussing a range of options to acquire Greenland, including use of the military, the White House has said. In a statement, the White House revealed that acquiring Greenland was a national security priority. It comes after Trump repeated over the weekend that the U.S. needed Greenland, a semi-autonomous region of a fellow NATO member, Denmark, for security reasons. The White House statement was also issued hours after European leaders rallied behind Denmark, whose Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen warned on Monday that any attack by the US would spell the end of NATO. NATO is a transatlantic military group where allies are expected to go to each other's aid in case of external attacks. On Tuesday, 6 European allies backed Denmark in a joint statement, stressing they were as keen as the US in Arctic security. The European signatories of the joint statement said this must be achieved by NATO allies, including the US, collectively. They also called for upholding the principles of the UN Charter, including sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the inviolability of borders. We take a short break. Please stay tuned for more news in sports.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back. In sports news, Hachipuka has been appointed head coach of Trident FC, with Jonas Sakuwaha named as his assistant. The Northwestern Province outfit is pushing for a promotion to the MTN Super League this season, despite recently missing out on qualifications for the Absa Cup. Hachipuka brings valuable National League experience, having previously coached Mlungu Harbour, and has also served as Zambia national team head coach. He reunites with Sakuwaha, a former national team teammate. Sakuwaha enjoyed a distinguished playing career with clubs including Lorient in France, Al-Merreikh in Sudan, and also Zesco United. And that sports item brings us to the end of our lunchtime news today. But before we go, a quick recap on the top stories making headlines. ICU trains artisanal miners in practical gold processing. 3 children die in suspected food poisoning in Lusaka. Lundazi floods trigger diarrhea outbreak. In international news, US discussing options to acquire Greenland, including the use of military. In sports news, Hachipuka and Sakuwaha join Trident. Thank you so much for watching. For more news updates, please stay glued to our main news at 20 hours. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.